All right. I think this is working. I don't know for sure. I might have to press a go live button. Let's see. We'll see. This might be. You might already see me. You might not. It's on a delay, so I actually think this is a fold. It's on a it's on a delay, so it's like not letting me click go live yet until the delay is caught up. So I don't know. I think you'll probably see this. But welcome. Yeah, I mentioned on Twitter, but I'd initially planned to stream today, to take the tournament more seriously from the start. But my wife came down with COVID, and so I've been solo dadding for the weekend. And I late registration closed at 7:30. I got in this at 6:45, and fired. I kept trying to get all in because it's triple reentry, and every hand has equity in PLO. But it didn't go that well. I actually ran up a stack and then lost it all with a questionable play. But I'm still here after a few reentries, and put my son down at 8. So now it is 8:34, on a delay, of course. And some of you are in chat already before the live stream is even up. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I'd like to add some cash games, in large part because, I have 30 big blinds and this tournament could be over any minute. And I'll feel a little silly doing a 1-minute stream. So I'm going to sit alone at a 5100 6 max PLO table. There's actually somebody sitting at 100, 200 heads up. I don't know who they are. Sometimes I feel a little bad sitting heads up because I assume people don't want to play me, but I'll probably, I don't know. We'll see how the stream goes. I'll give it a shot. If you know who Skills225 is, you can see if he actually wants to play, and we could get some high stakes cash game action on the stream. Depp, Brandon Brown, thanks for the good luck wishes. I need to pop chat out so I'm not looking over there. And I think we can go live now, but there we go. I hope this worked. What could have happened is that I just made the delay even longer. You might just be seeing this start. Yikes. All right, let's see. It's unclear to me what's going on, but I think, okay, it says I'm live. Let me click the link and see what it looks like. So if you're seeing, sorry for how bad I am at this. Okay, yeah, you've seen it. This whole thing has been streamed. Cool. Depp. I don't know if it's going to be a late night. I wouldn't put the coffee on just yet. I have now less than 30 big blinds. You can't see my table. In a 6 max PLO tournament. So there's actually, I'll give you the 2 table view for a minute. We're actually getting a little bit close to the money. So 144 left, 126 pay. I'm going for the final table and the win. So if I bubble, so be it. The bubble's not even, I mean, I don't know if I'm in for 3K or 4K, but the bubble is not really anything compared. It's, a third of my buy-in. So we're not going to worry about the bubble. We're going to worry about chips. Chipping up. Looks like I'm not even in the center of my webcam. Actually, was that the case here? Yeah, kind of. Sorry, guys, if you're just joining me. As I was mentioning to everybody, this was kind of a last minute thing. I wanted to stream tonight, but ended up having to watch my son all night and just put him down, and managed to be one tabling and still surviving while I was doing that. Ace 10 8-4 is kind of close. I would open it from the cutoff. Iffy from the hijack. I'm not going to open it under the gun. JK, good. I'm glad to know it's working. Bitcoin says, hey Phil, going through a really rough long poker patch right now. I don't know if this is a Bitcoin joke. It says, have you had downswings that take months after months after months? Good luck today. Thank you for the good luck wishes. Yes, I have. I've had really long downswings. Actually, I had like it doesn't really count, but I had like a 1.5 to 2 year downswing when I was not playing that much. I was playing live poker, and I probably played, like 2 sessions a month, and went on a bad downswing for quite a while. And it's possible, whenever you're on an extended downswing, it's important to ask yourself, how you actually are doing in the game. Because sometimes, I keep forgetting this is mirrored and scooting the wrong way. I think this is a defend. These low cards are live. My king high suit is good enough to make some things happen. And we're starting with some things. So I'll try to play this hand and continue. But basically in that game, it's possible that I was an underdog. I had played in a game called Big Bet Mix. I don't have any raises on this flop, unless I have a really specific reason. So I was playing a game called Big Bet Mix, which was about 12 games, usually give or take 1 or 2, all no limit and pot limit. So lots of weird stuff like pot limit double draw high, for example, pot limit triple draw, no limit single draw, etc., pot limit badoogie. All right, so now I have the nuts. I think I'm unblocking all the pairs. I think the best way for me to get paid is to bet myself, and I think going big is the way. And for a while in that game, I won a lot. Like I was the biggest winner for like 1.5 years. And then the downswing started in the same game, and it doesn't run that often, like I talked about. So I lost for a while, and during that time that I was losing, I had taken a little time off before then. So it's possible that I was a little rusty. People in the game were getting better. Some tougher players were entering the game. And then they switched it to what they called the hybrid. So half the games were big bet, no limit, pot limit, and half of them were limit games. I'm not as good at limit games. And so I mean, to this day, I don't know if I was a favorite or an underdog once it switched to hybrid. I think while it was still all pot limit and no limit, I was almost certainly a favorite in the game. When it switched to hybrid, I honestly don't know. But I did have a downswing. So yeah, they happen, and it's important to do a lot of things. Get your head on straight, evaluate whether or not you are potentially not a favorite in the game. Stepping down is always good. I have a video on this YouTube channel actually about how I deal with downswings. That's the title. So I'd actually recommend you go check that out. Henry Kilbane, what's up? This is me, a real Phil Galfond playing PLO. 30 big blind PLO, not my specialty. So don't bust out the pen and paper and copy everything I do, but I'll do my best. But anyways, yeah, if you're going through a downswing, I would highly recommend you watch that video, because I made that video specifically to help people who are going through downswings. So yeah. Brad, happy to make this decision for you. And thanks for being here. Thanks for the happy Father's Day wishes. If you or anybody else here is a father, happy Father's Day. Hope you had a good one. Hope it was a little easier than mine. Mine was hard, but it was still, it was fun. I had a lot of fun hanging out with my son. DT says visions help me Learn PLO, amazing product. Also, thank you for these streams. You're welcome. And you're welcome. I mean, I didn't create Visions. We partnered with them because it was such a good product. I loved it. I used it myself. It's the main way that I study PLO and poker. I'm glad you agree, but I'm biased. But yeah, we partnered with Vision because I used it and I thought it was great. So I'm glad it has helped you too. JK says skills 225 confirmed. Phil Hellmuth. He would definitely give me action at heads up PLO. Joey Gamelli, good to see you. You're right. Who cares if he doesn't want to play me? Sometimes I feel like it's rude to sit with somebody, but it's not rude. So this hand is not an open at full stacks, but when you're playing short stack PLO, I don't know if it's an open or not now, but when you're playing short stack PLO, the ace is so powerful. So you actually open more hands that contain an ace that are a little bit weaker and fewer hands that are a little bit stronger that don't contain an ace. It just blocks so much pre-flop aggression. Speaking of pre-flop aggression, we're not going to be folding to 3-bets as much as I think a lot of the field, but certainly ace 10, 7-6 with a 7 high suit, we will be folding. I'm gonna get some water. I really did not prepare appropriately. KW or Quoner, maybe 87, big fan from Vancouver, Canada. Do I ever come back and visit? It's been a while. I came back for the challenges in early 2020, but I haven't been back since. I left like May 2020 during the pandemic. Joey, there actually are a ton of I have a ton of heads up strategy videos, but they're in a heads up PLO course or PLO course on Run It Once that's quite expensive. So if you had watched some in years past for free, it's a different story now. But I do think they're good. Martin Zamani says, what's your note on me say? Is this you? I don't know. I'm afraid to look at it now. I have no idea. I can't look at it on stream, can I? All right, let's see. I'm assuming this is you. It's the only person I have a note on. It probably doesn't say anything. I probably just gave you a color. Ooh, it says a lot. Okay, hold on. Let's take this off screen. You can see it. It's fine. You min raise big blind against a small blind limp in a PLO tournament. And then you 3x'd against a small blind limp and folded to limp re-raise. Big one. Looks like you can hero call a lot versus smaller bets. You folded to 3-bets 3 out of 4 times. And you bet with kind of like a weak protection-y hand on this board. So now you know. I guess I can't 3-bet you now. Gilgamesh, thanks for the good luck wishes. How do I deal with tilt when I run bad? I mean, it's a good question. The best thing to do, I think, when running bad is to take a break, if you can take a break. If you're a cash game player, you can take a break either from that session or you can take a few days off, of course. If you're a tournament player and you're in the middle of a tournament, or, I don't know, it's WSOP and it's like a really bad time to take time off, then you have to use a different method. So that's what I do if I can. I think taking time off is the best thing to do for downswings and tilts in general. If you have to keep playing, I don't know. There are a lot of things to think about that like sometimes work, sometimes don't, depending on how bad of a mood you're in. One thing I would urge you to remember, this is a quote from me from like 12 years ago. Every time the action is on you, I'm paraphrasing myself. Every time the action is on you, it's an opportunity to make the best play that you can. So instead of thinking about, I'm hoping to get even. Ooh, if I call here, I hope I flop a 3. just think about, okay, it's my turn to act. I have one decision to make right now. And my job is to make the best decision I can. And that's it. So let's just focus on making the best decision I can right now. I think as much as you can think about that while you're playing hands, it'll help. It may help calm you down. Sometimes, sometimes the tilt is too frustrating, or you're too tired and dealing with tilt, and you're just kind of too far gone to refocus on that. And I get that. And then again, taking a break, taking a walk, things like that. But really, I find that when I can really kind of zoom in on that and focus on the fact that all poker is, all I can do is each decision, make the best decision I can every time. And if I mess that decision up, guess what? I have another decision coming up and an opportunity to make the perfect decision. And that's all it is. And everything else is out of your control. And if you can kind of accept what's in your control and what's out of your control, it'll help you quite a bit sometimes. Thanks, Bitcoin. I'm glad you enjoyed the video and the channel. Joshua Fortune, welcome. Carlos, happy Father's Day to all the dads. So this is a tricky one. I mean, I think it just has to go in. It's a pretty awkward stack size if he 4-bets, but I'm probably just committed. But just, I'm blocking a lot of good stuff. If he's opening a normal range, I think this is just a 3-bet. Luke, thank you very much for the kind words. And again, I don't know who's a father and who's not out here, but happy Father's Day to all the dads. That was not intentional quoting of Bryn's greatest tweet of all time. Okay, so we do get 3-bet. Again, I told you I wasn't going to fold to a lot of 3-bets, but this is a pretty bad hand to have too. We'll see. Anthony, thank you. Poker Kramer says, I saw on Twitter a while ago that you're Jewish. Are you a religious person? Good luck today, King. I am Jewish. I'm not religious, no. But I mean, I have respect for everybody's religious beliefs, as long as they don't make them treat other people badly. But for me personally, no. Anthony vlogs. Yeah, I assumed. I did have a blog a long time ago, but it's been a while. Gemelli, cool. Thanks, Joey. All right, yeah. I actually vaguely remember that conversation. So yeah, you can hold me to it. Yeah, Martin, I took pretty extensive notes on you. I don't usually have notes that extensive. I must have gone deep in a tournament with you and been one-tabling. Brett, thank you for the kind words. How are we doing with... it seems like a lot of people are here. Okay, just a few hundred. I mean, that's good. We had so many the last time I streamed, but I mean, I streamed all day long and like told people a day in advance and then final tabled. So we'll see. This is definitely an open. It's another hand that it's probably gonna have to fold to a 3-bet. So I'm talking a big game about not folding 3-bets, but haven't been executing on it so far. I do think as we approach the bubble, some people who are not watching this stream are going to 3-bet me light, and we'll just have to put some money in. Very awkward flop for this hand. It's a pretty good betting hand because it blocks it blocks a lot of continuing hands. It also, like, if bathroom line check calls me, I can show down a winner. And this player's in kind of a tough spot with like kings or something. kind of wrong amount of equity here to do anything other than check. Like bet folding is pretty gross, bet calling is pretty gross. I'm obviously hoping that it goes check, check, because I do have some hand, but I think I'm usually beat. He's usually got a stronger overpair at this point. And now, I mean, I just don't feel like it looks that credible. 5-7, 5-3, 10-7 get there, but like Jack 10 misses, and I just kind of feel like I'm not going to get credit this time. Whereas on a 7, I think I would definitely have bluffed. Yeah, I think he hero calls with that, honestly. I don't know him, but Eric asking people for the likes. Thank you for doing it for me. Depth says Martin probably had Taco Bell that day or something. Probably. Yeah, he shouldn't have been playing if he's going to min raise big blind versus small blind. Foldy fold. All right, let's check out the cash game scene again. Nobody sat with me at 5,100. I'm going to sit at 25.56 max as well. I don't really like the eight-handed tables, but you know, we may have to find ourselves there. Tim Wong, I'm glad you found that comment helpful. So this is a hand if we were full stacked, I'd like to play, but you just need, I mean, it's just like a hand like this is like, you know, pocket fours in Hold'em, where you need enough of a stack to make it worth playing. Or a short, I mean, actually it's not, because in Hold'em you can actually just jam with fours sometimes with a short stack. It's not the case in PLO. Carlos says, when did you realize PLO was your game? Honestly, it kind of happened to me, I feel like. I was a high stakes, no limit online player exclusively. And a lot of the games online started moving to PLO. Like the no limit games were drying up. And so I was like, all right, I have to learn PLO. And so I started learning it. And the games kept being there at PLO. And so I don't know. I just played a lot of PLO, and there were some half-half games, a lot of those running, and then eventually it was mostly just PLO action, and that's where it was. And after a year or two of that, and like not playing no limit, I was not sure that I still knew how to play no limit, and so there were some games I could have gone back to, and I was like, you know what, I'll just stick with PLO. And it wasn't really a conscious choice, and it wasn't even me saying, you know what, I think I'm cut out for PLO, or I think I'm better at this because I'm, you know, it's a better game for me. It just kind of so happened that that was the only action for a while, and I got rusty at no limit, and then just stuck with PLO. Ricky Omang, how many times did I slam my mouse fist on the desk during the VennyVD challenge? I don't think I did. I don't really do that. I get upset, I tilt, but I don't really express it with like, I don't experience a lot of like anger that like, I always have control of myself, I guess is what I mean. There's not, I never like do something in anger and then say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So I just don't slam. I don't slam things. Kay Gerhardt says, what are your thoughts on not having antes? Yeah, sort the chips. Yeah, sort by chips on the player list, sure. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen antes. I think probably, so I think the way that WSOP does it now, which is the way that I think Party Poker does it and PokerGo does it. WSOP, I feel like just started this year. Maybe they did last year. I didn't play the last WSOP, but they do antes that don't count towards the pot pre-flop, but they count post-flop. I think that's the best way to do it. I assume this software can't do that. 300-pound canary, welcome, welcome. Andrew, thank you for being here. Thank you. G Cash Money, thank you for being here. Troy, thank you. Matt Kingston, I don't remember specifically, I'm sorry, but it was good meeting you then. I do remember being short stacked in that event. The high rollers, I've had a very poor results in high roller tournaments. I've done fine in high stakes cash, but I think any tournament, 50K or over, I'm not sure if I've cashed any of them, to be honest. And if I have, I haven't like gone deep. I've had very bad results in high rollers thus far. The thing is, I don't play that many of them now. They didn't used to have as many high rollers as they do now, and now they're all no limit for the most part, so, which I don't know how to play anymore. Mike, I did not see that Clay Aiken ran for Congress again. I wish him luck. JJK, thank you. All right, let's see. All right. Still no action elsewhere. I mean, I could sit it. I don't really want to. Do I want to? All right, I'm gonna sit here and see if he wants to play. He's at another table with somebody else, and so I don't want to like break his heads up game. But I'd like some extra action, so we'll see. And I'm sure you guys would prefer a little more action. Sean says, is paying top 25% standard for WSOP? I didn't know. Let me move this out of the way. Is that what they're doing? Yeah, they are. Yeah, I guess because actually I don't know why they're doing that. So at this stack depth, sorry, I'm going to move this table into, at this stack depth, this is just a bet. I don't know about sizing. I should maybe half pot. Good enough to go with. When deeper, it's a pretty reasonable check back. Okay, he didn't want to play. He could have taken his small blind. If you want to come back and take your small blind, you can. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're paying that much of the field. It's kind of strange. It seems very abnormal. Am I playing the 100K? I don't even know what the 100K is. I guess it's a no limit. But no, I'm not. I'm actually, I might be done with WSOP events other than the online events. I might play the 50K Poker Players Championship. Do I miss Madison? Yeah, I do. I definitely miss I had some very good friends in Madison. I mean, I'm still in touch with some of them, but miss my friends, and yeah, I miss it. Yeah, Joey, I mean, I know you saw by now, I attempted to play one table heads up. Let's see. I guess I'll sit with this guy at 100, 200, and I don't think he's going to play just because I haven't heard of him, but you never know. Shouldn't make assumptions, right? And we got a playable hand on the left. All right, so we're going to 3-bet. Especially now, it's kind of nice that there's a caller. I mean, this hand plays better heads up, but okay, does not want to play. But here we go. So, I mean, if I bust out this hand and there's no cash action, this might be a short stream. But, I mean, I have the best hand, probably. I'll just fold this no matter what the action is. Where am I playing this tournament? I'm in my house in Vegas. I live in Las Vegas now, most of the time. Fun champion. Glad you're here. Yeah, this would be a fun one to make a run in, obviously because it's PLO, and also because all of them are fun to make a run in. So we're actually super close to the money. Again, they're paying 25% of the field, and the cash is so small compared to the buy-in, because it is a 1K buy-in, but it's 3x re-entry, and I'm in for at least 3 total, 3 or 4. I mean, okay. How much I'm in for doesn't actually matter in terms of how to play on the bubble, but the bubble compared to the prize pool is relatively small, I think, because they're paying out 25% of the field. Slow roll Sam asking if I remember the hypothetical. Yeah, I think I posed that on 2+2 a really long time ago. I don't think it was necessarily supposed to reveal your play style. It was actually like I don't know, it was kind of a, what do I call it? A thought experiment to prod some people to think a little differently about poker. It's kind of hard to explain, and at this point, in this day and age, solvers could just tell us. It was like a very, very long time ago. I thought I was going to be playing this hand no matter what my 4th card was, but here we are with a pretty bad 4th card. Am I going to open Trip Kings? I'm not going to. Tin Man from Washington State has good luck wishes. Thank you. Alexander, no, I don't have 5-card PLO experience. I mean, I've probably played I've probably played 2 sessions, and I don't know what I'm doing. I know it's become really popular lately. And I don't know, I feel like it's a worse game, but I probably shouldn't say that without having experienced it. So this is an example of a hand that is not as good as it looks in short stack PLO. It's not super high equity, not amazing playability when there's not a lot of money behind. But I still think it's good enough to open here from the hijack. But I talked about earlier in the stream, having an ace is really powerful, and these like very playable hands at deep stacks become weaker as the having 2 aces is good too, even better than 1. Yeah, actually I would say like more than twice as good even as having 1. But yeah, like the playability does not matter as much when you're short. William Ross says, I played with you 25-50 on full tilt back in the day. You took 10K for me. I hope you win. Thank you. I'm sorry your run against me was bad. That I run good. Daniel Roberts, hello. Welcome. Benjamin McCoy, how's it going? Not too much. For those who have joined more recently, my day has been kind of an adventure. I was planning to stream. Obviously, this is 3-bet. I had been planning to stream all day, but my wife got WSOP COVID, and so I've been parenting solo. So if there was a flush draw out here, I would be going big, but without a flush draw present, I think I just go this size and you hope for the best. It's really tough to get action. I maybe with an 8 should just pot because it's so hard to get action from a non-draw on this board. Anyway, so I was full-time dad today and yesterday and most of the day before. No, just today and yesterday. And so I just hopped in. With like 45 minutes left in late reg, hopped in this, tried to fire as many stacks as I could to see if I could run up a stack or just stop playing. While I was watching my son put him to bed, was still alive, hopped on the stream, and here we are. Exotic saying the high bind events on WSOP usually pay 20% of the field to encourage more players. Oh, someone almost sat. I mean, sat and left at 5,100. If anyone out there wants to play 2550 plus, you get to see my whole cards 5 minutes later. So I don't know. There's that. And I'm clearly distracted. Yeah, I mean, there are 3 10-20 games that are all full. 8-handed, though. I just don't, I mean, I don't want to. I can talk to you guys. The Polo asked, do you ever bet less than half the pot on the river for no limit? People say it's too easy to get re-raised out of the pot or not enough mixing. Now, you definitely want to have multiple sizings or have a small sizing in your arsenal. It's very situation dependent. Like there are some spots where you almost only have a small bet. It's very hard to go into without concrete examples, but if you're worried about people, like a lot of people say that they're worried about betting small because they think it shows weakness and you're going to get raised. Well, if you think you're going to get raised a lot, then small bet a really big hand that you want people to raise you with. So I think that there's a lot of times, this is human nature. Maybe not for all humans. I think some people go in with like, they're very confident at the table that their plays are going to work. But I think for most people, there's an anxiety or a fear that, you know, you can see your cards and you think, you know what, if I bet this amount, they're going to know what I have and they're going to act. But then the way that you can catch yourself doing that is like you find yourself on the river and you go all in and you have the nuts and you think, it's just so obvious that I have the nuts here. And then when you're bluffing, you think like, they're going to, or considering a bluff, you're just like, they're going to know I'm bluffing here. If you do that all the time and then you find that, hey, they actually called you when you had the nuts, and hey, sometimes they fold when you're bluffing. That's those like what seems to be logic telling you that it's that you look weak if you do this or you look strong if you do that. It's probably anxiety. It's probably fear talking. And the way to overcome that fear is actually to study a bit and practice and know that you're relatively balanced, and then get experience. Joey asks, do you think getting in ace of hearts, queen of spades, ace queen jack 9 double suited is bad to get in 25 to 30 big blinds, and how much different than ace king jack 10 double, both ace king different suits? It really depends on the situation. In a lot of cases, ace queen jack 9, like as a 3-betting or 4-betting hand, is actually better than ace king jack 10, because a common hand to raise fold or to 3-bet fold against you is king king, and so ace queen jack 9 double suited makes a good 3-bet, like bluff, not really bluff, but 4-bet bluff. It has more pre-flop fold equity than ace king jack 10 double suited. A lot of the 4-bet bluffs and 5-bet bluffs in PLO, if you're deep enough, are ace and 3 connected cards double suited that are not a king, basically, for that very reason. Xbox, I'm glad you enjoyed the vlog. All right, we have a probably playable hand, I guess I'll say. That's one way to word it. We are sitting on a lot of tables, guys. We're sitting on a lot of tables waiting for action. But so far, no luck. Okay. So we're not folding. I don't think this hand makes a great 3-betting hand. Again, if, like kings and queens, weak kings and queens are some common raise fold hands. We block those. And it doesn't have a lot of equity. Like, it has pretty bad equity against a raise and 4-bet range of like ace ace and king king. King king has this hand in really bad shape. Against a bet of that size, we're gonna have to fold. Nice hand, nice hand. Matthew says, I want to play a WSOP event again this year. What's my chances of getting COVID there? 4-to-1 odds. Honestly, I don't know. It does seem like everybody's getting it. It seems like everybody's getting it. Obviously, there are things you can do to reduce your chances. I think the most important thing, I'm not going to get deep into COVID, but what I was doing, I actually wasn't, and so I wasn't worried about it at first. And the first few events I played, I didn't wear a mask. Nobody was really wearing a mask. I think more people are now, and I would now if I played, to each his own. But one thing I was doing is I was being very cognizant of, like, once you're playing, you can't touch anything with your, like, don't touch your eyes, your mouth, your face, your nose. So I was being very cognizant of, all right, I'm playing now. My hands are just on the cards and chips. All right, now it's break. Wash my hands, sanitize my hands now. If I want to eat something or, I don't know, scratch my ear. Okay, Gerhardt, thank you. Yeah, the 50K PLO is so brutal. If you guys haven't seen that vlog, you're welcome to check it out on this channel, although I guess that was a spoiler. And yeah, thank you. Farrah's doing okay. She's not too bad off. Shane, no, not up for 25-50 cent today. Matt Van Dam are some top pros who run inherently bad. I mean, I'm sure some players have run worse, you know, much worse than others. This is, unfortunately, it's like, this is a very playable hand if we had more chips. I'm wondering if I can still play it at this stack depth. I think with like no high cards, it's too likely somebody behind me 3-bets, and it's barely a call anyways, maybe. I don't really believe in being lucky or unlucky, meaning, you know, forward looking. You know, like some people, I think when you encounter people who talk a lot about how unlucky they are, and I'm not talking about poker, but just like life, everybody knows people like this. Just like a lot of like, oh, with my luck, this will happen. And something bad happens. Oh, this always happens to me. I'm so unlucky. It's a really, I think that does bad things for you. I think it really does. If you're one of those people, I would urge you to try to, I mean, you start by faking it. Like, you start by just not saying those things, even if you do believe them, and hopefully over time you won't believe them. And actually, I think you can also do the opposite. I think it's good for you to do the opposite. Just talk about how lucky you are. And again, like, fake it till you make it. But I think there is I'm not saying it's magic, or speaking about luck in a certain way brings luck in a certain way, but I think it affects your mood, it affects your performance, it affects your outlook, and it affects what happens to you through all of those things. Potato says, I have no anxiety when I bluff on Zynga Poker. Zynga Poker's, actually, I tested their software once when I was looking at different poker site softwares. It was kind of cool. think of amphibians? I don't have a lot of strong feelings about amphibians, to be honest. Calvin, glad you're enjoying the content. Thank you for the good luck wishes. This is another hand that is playable, but my blockers are pretty bad, and I'm not thrilled to be playing this hand because I unblock 3-betting hands. We will take it. Blinds are fine. Colin Fitz, this is a real money tournament, but these stacks are not real dollars. No. The dollar value of my 80,000 chip stack is probably like $2,500, $3,000. $3,000 at this point, probably. Curls, good to see you. Thank you. Thinking one respect. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Dedolores, I think, asks, do you think playing GTO/studying solvers is something to focus on when you're playing live, low to mid stakes, where 99% of the players are far from optimal? I think it's nice to understand it, to have a baseline and know where to deviate from, but I would not attempt to approach optimal play. So I spoke about, playing an ace. This is a really weak ace, so I'm not going to play it. So I think it's good to study, but don't try to base your game on solvers. I guess I'll show you guys the 2-table view since we're approaching the money. Jason asks, genuine question, why PLO? Smaller field, more opportunity for larger scores? No, PLO, I just love PLO. It's my favorite game. I think the tournaments are always softer in PLO. Wes Robinson says, this jerk, Phil. Can we bring him back? Not right now. I do have the hat on because I don't remember the last time I showered. My hair's not doing too well. Philly Noel, yeah, a ton of people got it. Mr. W says, Phil, would you play LeBron James one-on-one basketball for $25K? Why not? The answer to that question is why you're sitting at 3 cash games with no opponent. Some people like to play. I get action sometimes. Thank you all for the good luck wishes. Duke says, happy birthday. It's not my birthday, but thank you. All right, chat. We don't need to talk about COVID science here. There are plenty of places. That's what Twitter is for. Twitter is the place to talk about COVID science and get to the bottom of it once and for all. Anthony Chavez, will you ever play on Hustler Casino Live? Yeah, I got asked that on my last stream. I would like to sometime. It's not. I'm always busy, and it's not super easy for me to get away. But I would like to do it, especially if there's like a big. I don't know. I wouldn't call it an event, but like a big stream happening. I'd like to do it. So another hand that looks pretty, plays reasonably well in a deep stack cash game, not good in a short stack tournament. MMS says there are unlucky people though, like having their whole family die in an accident and then their wife gets cancer and dies, for example. Yes, absolutely. People have been unlucky. Lots of people have been unlucky in life, but I don't believe that it means that they will in the future. I think it has nothing to do with how lucky they'll be in the future. So yes, absolutely, people can look back and say, I've been very unlucky, but and they can be objectively right. But I think it has no bearing on how lucky you will be after then, unless you kind of make your own luck. Bitcoin asks, do I have something like a warm-up routine before poker sessions? So for this, no. Yeah, if I'm playing heads up, I like honestly, the key for me is to not do anything mentally strenuous in the morning before I play. That's the key. It's not really a routine. It's just a non-routine. Like don't study the day, like before I play a heads up session. Study the previous day, sure, but not in the morning of the day I'm going to play. Don't take a meeting for work. Those are the main things. Don't do those. So I don't do those. And then I'll usually do like some kind of either meditation or a primed mind MP3. I'm not affiliated with them, but I've worked a lot with Elliot Rowe, and I think they're awesome. Greg, it's hot in Vegas, but not abnormally hot for this time of year. It was actually, I feel like today or yesterday was kind of cool for the season. All right, so facing a min raise, we're double suited. We have a pocket pair. We're getting a lot to one, and we just need to flop a 7. It's iffy. This is iffy. Daniel asked, for someone like Dean Eggs being stuck so much at WSOP, do sponsorships and income from Poker Go make it more viable, almost a free roll? He's maybe literally the most popular poker player in the world, and so I am sure that his sponsorship, I don't know if he gets anything from Poker Go, but from GG Poker, I'm sure it's quite lucrative, and in a sense makes it a free roll. But you also have to remember, despite that fact, Daniel is a professional who, whether it's from his poker earnings or his sponsorship earnings or both combined, has a large bankroll and expects to be, on average, a favorite in these tournaments. And so you just deal with it. You buy in, you deal with the swings. And if his bankroll is not big enough, I think it is big enough to withstand it. But if not, then he can sell enough action such that he's playing at stakes that are comfortable for him. And then over time, it evens out. Brandon Brown asks, on your last stream, you mentioned something about studying heads up null. What does your study process typically look like? Great question. My process is not great. The way I learn best is practice, but I haven't gotten a lot of practice at it. But it's essentially solver work and I like the training aspects of solver tools. So not just studying charts, but getting put in spots and guessing and getting feedback on that. That's what works best for me. Gcash Money says, Phil, how come there isn't more live stream cash games in Vegas? That's an excellent question, and I don't know the answer, honestly. Why aren't there more live cash streams? Why are they all in LA and Texas? I don't know. Chris Perkins asked about the green art thing behind me. This is it's like a sound absorbing panels, and I have them in. There are like 3 parallelograms here, and then over there where you can't see, there are a bunch of hexagons in the same 3 colors. I don't know how much they do for the sound, but I like green and I like shapes. I ever practice my poker face in the mirror? I do not. I should. I'm going to. Johnny Elliott says, still have COVID. I don't have COVID. My wife has COVID. I'm so far fading it. And my son is fading it so far as well. She's in our room. We're not in any contact with her. The house is big enough that we can stay out of her way. So I think we'll be in the clear. Pone says he's off to Twitter to do some research. Yep, go for it. Moth hater, hello. I don't like moths either. Welcome, welcome. Les Brown asks Phil, "What's your bankroll?" I don't know, actually. I honestly don't know. It's not what it once was. 4 Cinderellas. This. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Not talking to me. Brett Heller says, "Phil, you're going to win this tournament. You're about to double up soon. I wish I shared your confidence, but I was talking earlier about being positive. I am very lucky, so that would not be that strange for me to double up. It seems probable now that you mention it." It's kind of slow, hand for hand. We're still waiting for 2 players to bust out. I mean, 1400, 6400. It'll happen kind of soon. So I mean, I wonder what proper strategy is here, since the bubble is not a very big payout. It's 1.4 buy-ins. But I mean, obviously I can just fold I would always cash if I fold, as would somebody with like 30K, honestly. But I wonder what ICM dictates. I don't think I'm supposed to just fold everything. Maybe I am. I'm not going to, because I want to build up a big stack. And definitely going to play this hand one way or another. I was kind of hoping the big stack at the table, or actually he's the second biggest stack. This guy's the big stack. Anyways, I don't know. He opened the last hand. I thought he was going to maybe keep opening and I could 3-bet bluff something. But Andrew Rivers says, "Phil, I think I remember once you saying you'd rather play 6 2550 PLO versus 1 501K. Do you still feel that way, or if I've misquoted, which you prefer?" I don't remember that quote. The only thing I can think about, and I don't even know if I said this anywhere, was that I was comparing online to live, and like this was back in the day. This is funny because I've changed. I was wrong about this. So back in, I don't know when, but when poker was getting big in Macau, a lot of people were going over there and getting into these big games. And I, first of all, didn't like to travel. Second of all, there's like some politics involved in getting into those games, and I'm not very good at that. And it makes me uncomfortable. And so I kind of told myself and said, why go over there and play? I mean, it's 501K was bigger sometimes, like 2K, 4K. They were playing huge. But I mean, I couldn't afford 2K. I would sell action at that point. So, it would have been 501K for me, or 300, 600, I don't know, at the time. Why go over there and do that when I can just, and play 20 to 30 hands an hour, when I can play online whenever I want at the time, 6 table, 2550, and play whatever, 400 hands an hour of that, and end up like, so 20 hands an hour of 501K compared to 400 hands. So you 20x the stakes and you get the same stakes, 2550 to 501K. So that was my stance, was like, I could just play so much more with so much less variance online. I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but that's something I remember. The reason I was probably wrong is that everybody who went over there, or a lot of people who went over there made a whole lot of money. And I think those games were a lot softer than I realized. Oh, Daniel's at the final table of stud 8. Nice. I kind of wanted to play that, but I couldn't. Evan Horton, thank you very much for the kind words. Zachary Weatherford says Nevada regulations super stringent. Texas and Los Angeles more lax. I thought you meant lax. I thought you meant LAX. like the airport, but you didn't. Yeah, EC Gab says the same thing, more regulation. Cade, I believe, says because Vegas pros are unbearable nits who watch movies at the table. Blake England asks if I own Run It Once. Run It Once training, yes, I'm the majority owner. Run It Once poker, not anymore. We sold it to, I'm still very involved, but sold it to Rush Street Interactive to get it into the U.S. market. Yeah, a lot of comments on the gaming regulations. I didn't realize they were so stringent. It makes sense. Ezra, thanks for the kind words. Russell asks which bullet I'm currently on. Welcome, by the way. I don't know. It's 3 or 4. Does it say here if I expand the... No, it doesn't. Well, let's see if we could find my name. Will it say if I've finished? Oof. I guess we play this. I guess we bubble. No. Optimism. I mean, I'm going to call. So we could be the bubble boy. But as mentioned, that's okay. I don't think he's 3-betting super light, given that he's, like, I'm under the gun. But this hand's just, I think, a little too strong to fold. And that's going to be good enough to go with. We're hoping he has dry aces. Yeah. I think dry aces need to fold, which, I mean, we want dry aces to call. He hasn't snapped, so we're definitely a decent favorite. He shouldn't be thinking with, like, pair and a flush draw or anything like that. Snurf Snowboard asks if I have a separate bankroll for poker compared to money for family and kids. I don't. I think you probably should. I think it's better to. I just kind of conceptually have an idea of what I am willing to lose and what I'm not. And actually, for me, like the opportunities to, like the opportunities for playing are, like, sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. And so the amount I'm willing to risk is variable because it depends on what I'm risking it at or in. You know what? I'm going to move this camera because it's making me move in a direction I don't feel like moving. So this is where I want to be sitting. That's better. Ace King 8-3, kind of interesting. It's tempting to 3-bet here because I think he's going to fold a lot. I think that's what I'm going to do. I just think he doesn't often have a bigger hand than me, and I think he's maybe opening 100% on the button because it's the bubble, and then folding like half the time. Yikes. All right, I got that wrong. And now I don't think this hand works very well. I mean, there's a chance that he's like really trying to force something, like still doing this with a bunch of hands, in which case, you know, I'm folding an equity favorite with 2-to-1 odds. But if he's not doing that, if he's playing a reasonable range, and this hand performs really poorly, it was a pure bluff, essentially. It's kind of tough because I don't know if, like, I thought that he was just opening 100% and then going to fold half the time, like literally half the time, or maybe more, maybe like 60% of the time, and I had good blockers, but I didn't necessarily consider if he would just, well, 4-bet bluff, which, you know, who knows. MMS believes in determinism. I don't really feel one way or the other. Ryan, am I planning to play the main? I'm not planning to play the main right now. It's really slow. But it's just so long, and like right now. I mean, right now I'm off sleep schedule, but like I woke up at 6 a.m. today, and I usually go to bed a half hour ago. And just to be off schedule and kind of messed up and distracted from work and other things for as long as the main event takes before you're even like really in a spot like where you're making more than 3x your buy-in. I'm leaning towards not playing it. More people talking about determinism. Les Brown says, Phil, great question. You're telling me that you have a great question for me. Who's the best PLO player you have seen besides you, for real? I don't necessarily think that I'm the best. I think I'm one of the best PLO players. Ben Solsky, Ben Tollerine, Barry Sweet, Grazvis, Vanny Vidi, Action Freak, and probably some more that I'm forgetting. I mean, there are a lot of really good PLO players. Queen 10 7-5 double. All right, now I'm worried that this guy just was 4-bet bluffing. I mean, it's a one-hand sample now of him 3-betting. We'll see. Or we probably won't see. This guy will probably fold. Kevin MacArthur asks if I run it twice. Yeah, I usually do run it twice, to be honest, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I wanted to see if it tells me how many buy-ins. No, it doesn't. All right, where's the shortest stack? I want hand for end to end. He has 400 chips. Is that real? Yeah. All right, let's open. His table. I mean, when you're super short, you should be folding to the money, but I think at my stack depth, you should not. The problem is at PLO, if the big stack is opening a ton of hands, they still have reasonable equity against you, so it's not as hey, 1,400, almost 1,500 viewers. Awesome. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. That's really cool. They still like have so often if you're going to be able to like in a no limit tournament, if someone's really trying to beat up the bubble, sometimes you can get your money in 80% or something, or like 70% because they think you'll never call it off without whatever queens plus, and you call it off with tens, and they have ace five. But in PLO, the equities run pretty close, and so even when you kind of catch them with you know a dominated hand, they still have 40% equity. Have ever been totally broke, busted, and how did I recover? Stupid that you can bet on sports, buy lotto tickets, and scratch off slots online in Illinois, but not poker. Yeah, it's crazy that poker is the one that is carved out from all like so many types of gambling are allowed, but poker's not. I've never been totally broke and busted. No, I've lost a significant portion of my bankroll. Like I've lost half my bankroll multiple times, but then I always step back down and recovered. I really want to 3-bet this guy again, but I'm not going to. Because I think he's probably getting after it on the bubble. Here, we can keep an eye on both of these things. MMS, you folded because you wanted to stream longer. Let's be real. Yeah, you're right. That's why I wanted cash game action, so I wouldn't have to rely on this for my stream. I guess I can just play 10-20. I'll get on some wait list for 10-20. But I'm not happy about it. Jesper asks what I mean by politics in the games in Macau. I mean, all games are kind of private or semi-private. There's always, it wasn't even, to my understanding, it wasn't that bad out there. Like, wasn't like shady or anything. It was just, have to know the right people, talk to the right people, sell some percentages of yourself, which is all fine. But like, I'm just not even good at asking people for things like, hey, I want to play in your game. What do I have to do? And so it's just uncomfortable for me to even have those conversations. But yeah, it wasn't that bad out there, and I could have done fine. Martin, a really good spot to bluff because it does not look like you would want to bluff for your tournament life here. But I mean, from the bit I know about you, you're crazy enough to do it. As am I. Fun champion. Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed that vlog. I had fun making it. Tall Paul, have I skipped the main in years past? I skipped last year. I didn't play anything last year. I've skipped the main at least a couple times, but not that many times, honestly. Jay Compton, thank you very much. What can we as fans do to help grow the well, first he thanks me for the content. You're welcome. Best vlogs out. Thank you very much. What can we as fans do to help grow the channel? Is it really just sub, like, comment? Yeah, it really is just sub, like, comment. Thank you very much for asking. I think, the channel will grow in time. YouTube is usually kind of a slow grind. I think streaming like this is pretty helpful for the channel. Last time I streamed, I got, if this was suited, I would go with it. Offsuit's just too ugly. I lost my train of thought. It's funny that he was dealt aces in the big blind with 400 chips. All right, so hand for hand continues. Okay, that would have been a bad flop for me. William Davis, I agree. We don't know. Curl's Gone Wild says people tend to tank on the bubble a lot when hand for hand like it matters. Yeah, I know. I noticed that too. It's a little bit annoying. Card Sharp asks, why do I not participate in the Poker Go high rollers? Because I don't really play No Limit Hold'em, and I don't play tournaments either. So I'm not very good at No Limit Hold'em tournaments, and those are pretty high buy-in events with very good players in them. So I think I'd just be losing too much money playing them. Carl Magnus asks, do you think we could ever learn to almost emulate the PLO solver? No. I think it's wow, I can't, where's my vocabulary? I don't think it's possible. I don't think you should try. I think it's good to study. It's great to study. But it's just way too complex a game for humans to and so is No Limit. No Limit is actually more complex because there's so much more mixing and there's so many more sizes to balance. Thinking One Respect. Smash that like button for awesome content. Thank you. Lonnie, thank you very much. You're welcome. Got shot. Well, full tilt shut down. So there's no, that was my account was on there. So I don't have an OMG Clayton account anymore. OVO Rentals asked a lazy question. Before looking, did you do any commentary vids with the Veni Vidi match? Yeah, so I did. I have one. This is another hand that looks pretty, but it's not good enough at short stack. I had a YouTube video on here somewhere that I reviewed the final hand against him. Then I have 3 session reviews in my PLO course that I released on Run It Once. It's called This is PLO. I have 3 videos of my sessions against him, 3 against Action Freak, 3 against Chance Corneth. But other than that, no. Element sales. No, it was more of a strategic step forward for the site. Yeah, it was so that we could keep the dream alive and bring Run It Once Poker to the U.S. But it wasn't a big payday for me personally. Johnny asks if I enjoy living in Vegas, and if I were to move there for the first time, what city or part of the city would you recommend? So I do. So first of all, I could live anywhere. I'm super homebody. I stay at home almost all the time. I just kicked my camera. Is it still roughly in the right place? Yeah. So when I first moved here, or not really moved here, I got an apartment here in City Center because when I was here, I just wanted to play cash games at Bellagio and Aria, and I wanted to be able to quickly get there if a game was running and not miss a seat. And so that's what I would do again if that was my goal. At this point in my life, with a family and yeah, I would live in Summerlin. I think there's some great neighborhoods there that are really nice areas to walk around and very comfortable. So that's me. Sam Renshaw asked about doing drop shipping for Run It Once merch instead of sourcing, fulfilling yourself. I actually don't know much about drop shipping and how it works. I know that the store, we create a lot of clothes. Actually, I mean, I wear them all the time. This is Run It Once. We made some great clothes. They don't sell enough to make it worth, we would always lose money on it just paying for storage and shipping. And it's tough too because we have a lot of people who want to buy in Europe. And so shipping's expensive. I'm going to stop watching this guy's table. See, it's not even that short anymore. We got 3 short stacks. We'll just see what happens. Where was I? So yeah, okay. There goes the bubble. So the bubble bursting is a good enough excuse to remind people that I'm streaming. All right, so I'm gonna add a cash table. Oh no, that game's broken. I'm not gonna. Ace Deuce 3, not good enough. Against the 3x, against a min raise, I would have defended here with the nut suit. I thought I was gonna add a cash table, but I was too late. That game broke. I'll sit at 1022. I'm at a lot of I'm at 5 tables. Oh, maybe. Let's try. Okay. Well, we're 2 tabling, guys. Let's see what this looks like. A little bigger. I'm not gonna fold this. Am I gonna raise fold or am I gonna limp? I'm gonna limp. Can get away with betting full range on this board when it goes limp check. I don't know if this is a 3-bet or call, or I think it's call. Got a 3-bettable hand on the left. We will be 3-betting either of these players. There we go. I don't think it makes sense to just call with this. It's just too strong. And we've talked about before unblocking kings and queens, which are common folds. All right, here we go. Good luck us. We're going to call here. He did have the kings. He's not going to fold and he's not going to win. All right, so we check called here against a small bet. And the way this ran out, I don't think he has anything. I'm going to check and then decide if I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to check raise or check call. He had nines. Jack 10, 9, 7. This is close. How many big blinds do we have? I'm going to peel. Oh, you get to see. I cut out a little hole here. I forgot about that. All right, we get 3-bet. We can't fold with this, so good luck us again. We can maybe fold some flops. I'm not hoping to, obviously. All right, we don't have to fold that one. Fold over here. We miss, so back to 100. We're on a break. Okay. I am going to take a quick break. I didn't take a break at the last break. So hang tight. I will be back. I'm actually going to keep my screen up because I noticed that when in my last stream when I put up a break screen, everybody left. So stick around. I'll just be a couple minutes. I'm here. We missed our big blind. That's okay. Would you guys want me to add more tables if I could? Or do you want to just stick with 2 and focus on these? Let me know. Carl Magnus Live. Would the PLO solver absolutely destroy you, or you think you would hold on somewhat okay-ish, but still lose? No, I'd get wrecked. I mean, nobody can keep up with a solver. You know, I might lose, like, you could lose only, I wouldn't get wrecked. Like, I wouldn't lose 7 big blinds per 100, but I would lose, I don't know, a few, like 3 big blinds per 100 maybe. All right. Here we go. GME Ape, welcome. Thank you very much. Mike Lima, yes, there's a 5-minute delay. Yeah, there's 5 minutes delay. Ian Sheriffs, welcome. What's up? What's up? Let me know if you want to add more tables. I think there's one more table running, so I could. All right, we open, we flop top set. So far, both of those things are correct. And I'm going to go with a small sizing. Checking back is actually okay. I just mostly use small sizing in three-way pots on a whole lot of boards, kind of regardless. I mean, I had notes on this player. Okay, limp to weak hand in early position. I'm just going to pot this turn. I mean, that's the main sizing I use here. It's not great that I block the 6. Like, it's going to be hard to get action from non-draws, but, I mean, I'm ahead of everything. Scott Allen says you look like an elf. Okay. Let's fold this one regardless of the action. Brian Ard says, hi Phil, would you play cash on Poker Go in a PLO game? Like, see you play some of them. Yeah, I play cash in a PLO game. I play cash no limit on Poker Go. They I haven't gotten a lot of invites, although in their defense, I used to say no a lot because I didn't know how to play no. I mean, I still don't know how to play no, but I didn't know how to play no limit, and I was really, really busy. But yeah, I would play a lot of stuff. I'd like to play more on Poker Go. Exotic says my high-rise view. Miss my high-rise view, but Summerlin is so much better than living by the Strip. Yeah, I think it's nicer there, but it depends. Hope Jones, welcome, welcome. So how are we looking in the, is this, hold on, let me see. I can't see what I'm doing. There you go, you can see it. 60 out of 104. I mean, I'm just gonna try to win all the chips. That's the goal. Hope Jones, I'm in Las Vegas. I live here now, mostly. Issue Boy says, which game has a better win rate for a same skilled player, 4-card PLO or 5-card PLO? I honestly don't know. It's gonna depend on the quality of games. I think this hand is close on the right. I'm gonna fold. This hand's got to be a call. 2 pair, 2 backdoor flush draws, 3 times pot remaining. So the question, I mean, we definitely bet. Do we go big or small? I think we just go big because I don't really like, I have the best hand a lot and I'm obviously getting it all in, but I don't really want to, like, anything I'm inviting action from has pretty good equity against me. If I bet small and he calls with kings, it's not like thrilling. You know, all right, he's probably slightly ahead with that, but we manage to hold. Well played by him. He could bet that or check that. I think either's fine. £300 Canary asks if I figured out what set off my alarm during the last stream. I mean, I think the garage door just blew open. Yeah, my house alarm went off when I was like deep in the event a couple weeks ago, and woke my wife up, and somehow I didn't wake my son up. This is a pretty hand, but not good enough. I'm going to check. If I had a spade, I would bet. Let's check fold. That's fine. All right, so 2 tables, 2 tables, 3 tables, 3 tables. So people are disagreeing about how many tables to play. I'll stick with 2 for now. I mean, there's not... Is there another game to play? I think there's one more that I could play, yeah. Maybe not. I mean, I agree. If this table fills up and it's 8-handed, I'll add another table. All right, we got a playable hand. It's not the scenario. Okay, he's potting. I'm not going to 3-bet this hand. I'm just going to call. It's okay to 3-bet. It might even be correct to 3-bet. All right, we flopped 2 pair against him once again. Right table, I'm gonna wait till later. Left table, now we could maybe invite some action and go less than pot. Right table's check fold. That's going to be a fold. It looks like there's an ante. I guess somebody posted a dead something. Romanian Mike, welcome. EC Gab saying Phil thinks he's only losing 3 big blinds per 100 to a solver, and people are willing to play him heads up. LOL. So I don't know for sure if that's the right amount, but I do know that it would surprise you how little some players can lose to a solver, because the solver is not exploitative. Like, so at 100 big blinds, this actually is a pretty good check back hand, weak top 2. But at 50 big blinds, I just like betting and getting it in against king 4 or something. All right, so left table is interesting. Getting led into, certainly can't fold. I think we want to just jam. Because there is a chance. Do I want to jam? I think so. If I call and he comes along, really not sure here, actually. If I call, I think call's okay. Fold here. Well, now we have to go with it. Do we put the rest in? I think we put the rest in just because we could possibly have the best hand. We have a lot of equity here. Okay, he just has that. Does not work out for us. That's too bad. And we're down to 70K. Had kind of a good feeling about that one. I think it was right to just call. Here against the min raise and a call. This is kind of close. I'm gonna peel. It doesn't feel great. We get a 3-bet here by the big blind. This is maybe a fold. Although they're both deep, which is kind of good for me. No, I'm gonna fold. Chad Richardson, don't make your coffee yet. We have how many big blinds do we have? 10 big blinds in a PLO tournament. Have I played much PLO cash this summer? No, there's not really anything running here except the PLO cash games have all gone private. Daniel asks, would you recommend spending time learning more niche poker games? Do you think there's an advantage to this, i.e. finding bigger skill gaps in games against newer players? And what games would you suggest? It really depends what's available to you. So in the places you can play, whether online or live, and the, how do I want to play this? It's pot or check. On the deuce specifically, I don't think you need a size smaller than pot because the cutoff opener is not going to have a deuce very often. And just pot river. Very standard. Anyways, yeah, you got to look at the games that are available to you and make the decision based on that. Like what's available, like what runs, what's good, and how easily do you think you can learn it, or from where you're at now. So it's very hard for me to answer. I think generally you're going to do best being good at the popular games because like you might find some unique, but you might find some spots to play in random games that are really, really good. And if that's the case, that's what you should do. But it's also like, for the most part, being good at the most popular games, you have your bases covered for most opportunities that come up. So here, I mean, I think at 10 big blinds, I'm just opening to pot rather than small. Not thrilled about this one. So if I do get shoved on, it's usually by an overpair. If I get called, I guess I have the best hand. He's probably got like, oof. So the caller's probably got like Jack 10 9 8 or Ace King 10 7. I think I'm actually supposed to fold this. So I would need, this seems close to, I'm going to call with 20, 40. I don't think I have the equity. I mean, I wasn't going to fold to one person, but to two, I just don't have the equity. It's unfortunate. Oh, wow. I did have the equity. So this hand's not a call pre. This hand is a 3-bet, so that's good. This player is calling kind of loose. I got to fold. Here we'll bet small. We'll open this. It's a little close, I think, from the hijack, but whatever. All right, need to double up this hand. So King Queen 10, I think this is a good betting hand. It's not like, I mean, it's a value bet. It's not a monster. I guess we'll just take it down. The turn's pretty interesting. I think this is supposed to be a check, but it's not ridiculous to bet. I think I like checking though. And the question is, do we value bet ace king? I think we do. Okay, chop it up. King, queen, jack 4. We're going to fold. I mean, we're kind of looking for a spot to steal the blinds almost. We have very few big blinds. There's very little that we can do. Issue Boy asking for yeah, rivers on vision. That is something on the roadmap. Unfortunately, it's for some technical reasons that I'm not 100% that I don't 100% understand. It is harder than it sounds to get the rivers in. It takes a lot of time. So it's something that is in the pipeline, but not in the very near future. So this wouldn't be playable in like a cash game, but with deep stacks. But with short stacks, ace king and a suit is a good hand, like favored against any, well, not any, but most unpaired hands, and have overcards to a lot of bears. So we didn't want to get 3-bet, but oof, we really didn't want to get 3-bet by that hand. It is not looking good for us, guys. This might be it, and that is it, unfortunately. So we are out. I appreciate the sweat. Here we get 3-bet. We have double suited kings. I'm not going to fold. I mean, I'm not going to 4-bet either. I'm just going to take a flop, and we're going to check fold. All right, so it's 10-15. We cashed for some amount in the PLO. There is another table. Do we play for a little while? That's maybe not running. Maybe I'll break it. Anything else? Anything else? So we might not have the longest stream. That's too bad. I kind of well, whatever. I mean, there was a very good chance that what happened would happen, and we bust out. But for now, I don't know. I really wish that we could get some more action. I guess I'll two-table and chat with you guys for now. Sitting at a lot of other tables, hoping to get some action. Patrick asking about the deuce 6 full house. Can't a worse hand not call you? No, there are a lot. I mean, it's almost never going to be beat deuce 6 there. The way the hand played out. He's referring to, I can pull that up. This hand. So the action went Cold War Kid raised the cutoff. I called the big blind. Check, check, flop. I potted turn. I potted river. He's basically never going to have trips or better. He's never going to have, like, he almost never has 7-7 or 9-9 or any, like, he doesn't have any boats. He sometimes has a straight, often just has an overpair or like a 9. So he never has a better hand than me, essentially. And he needs to call with some worse hands. Otherwise, he's going to end up folding his full range. So he can definitely find a lot of hands to call with there. I don't think we're going to have much success with the cash game, in the cash game streets. That's too bad. I really like to be playing a little bit bigger. Oh, I could have shown you the hand down there. Forgot about that. I forgot that I opened this hand, but Jack of Hearts is a really good blocker to bet. We'll put the hand histories down here for future looking at. Turn top 2, going to keep betting, obviously. Or not obviously, you could potentially check back a really weak top 2 like this, but I think betting standard. That's going to be a fold. I'm wondering if I should ask Twitter if anybody wants to play like 1 PLO, 1 no limit, 5100, so we can get some high stakes action.
this. Could go either way on the flop. All right, asking Twitter if anybody wants to play. I get called. I'm probably losing, but I don't have a spade. I'm not going to bluff this river. Aces. He should 3-bet that. I'm going to take a note that he did not 3-bet aces. Fold. Thank you guys for the, yeah, you're just catching up to me, busting out of the tournament. Thank you for the kind words. All right, we got some playable hands here. Do we? So this is the kind of hand that can cold 4-bet. Might be a little bit too weak, but let's go for it. We're tilted. Now, I was talking earlier in the stream about how ace queen XX double suited are really good 4-bet bluffing hands, and there you go. We got the fold. You can't just wait for aces, otherwise that happens. They fold. I want to keep the stream going for a little bit. We have 1,600 of you here, and I really appreciate that. It's nice to have. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have viewers to hang out with. Ron S says, playing my first ever WSOP main. Awesome. That's going to be fun. Am I right to think people are far too passive on average, scared to die? Yeah, definitely scared to die. I wouldn't necessarily say passive. There's a lot of small ball, and you'll run into a lot of pros who are, relatively aggressive because people are scared to die. But you're going to find a lot of people who are, hoping not to bust their stack, especially as like when you get to the end of day one. There are a lot of people, recreational players, not pros, who are so close to making day 2, or they get so close to making day 3, and kind of want to do so at all costs. Obviously, cold 4-betting aces. And we get it in against aces. Both rainbow. He is ahead right now. He is way ahead. And I don't think we're going to win this one. He is actually 100% on the turn. Easy open. This is a fold. No, I don't want to play a sit and go. Thank you, though, guys. Patrick, no problem. Oh. We can open this. Card Sharp asks, did you enjoy working with Ali Najad on High Stakes Duel? Yeah, he's a lot of fun. And he it's not just exclusive to him. A lot of those guys, I think guys like him and Tuckman and I guess those are the main 2 guys I've done commentary with. They just make it so easy for you. They're just such pros. Ollie's such a pro. That just feels like I'm just having conversation, If I had to carry it myself, it would be really hard. I mean, none of us should smash this flop, but to that sizing, I just need to check fold. All right, it does seem like our viewership is going down now that I am not in contention for a bracelet. I don't know how to, I should change the title to Cash Games something something, but I don't know how to do that, so, from OBS. Oh wait, I could do it from YouTube, maybe. Let's see if that works. Check. Iffy call here, but I'm just not folding much in the big blind to the small blind. Interesting to see a bet on this board. I'm not going to do anything here. My hand's too weak. Just try to take it to showdown. I'm going to call here. I mean, it's the only play, actually. On the left table, I'm going to keep checking. Take it to showdown. Yeah, there's the one table of 2550. I feel like they're heads up. They've been going heads up for a while, and they're super deep. I'm at another 2550 table, so if they want to play me, I assume they'll come on over. I guess I'm folding, although I'm definitely folding there. I'm slightly suspicious here, to be honest, but why am I suspicious? Andrew Province asks, NL Pro versus PLO Pro, one table of each. Which game naturally has the advantage? Actually, PLO has the advantage, so maybe that's not even a very generous offer of mine. PLO has the advantage because it kind of just plays bigger, so edges are bigger. Basically, PLO is like almost 2x the stakes, I feel like, of No Limit. So the win rates are bigger, and the standard deviation is higher. Queen 10 9 6, pretty close, I think, from here. I mean, is anything running? Omaha high low? No. King 7 3 rainbow. This is a pretty good hand to start betting with. I don't block anything, but I have very good backdoor draws. This is a fold, actually. Johnny Co asks if I'm ever flatting offsuit bad aces. Yeah, sometimes. If it goes well, yes, sometimes is the short answer. It's basically like your weakest aces in a spot where somebody's opening a relatively strong range and you can't get that much of stacks in. But it's kind of rare, and you need to include. What am I trying to say? You need to be 3-betting enough other hands that they're incentivized to 4-bet bluff or 4-bet some other hands like weaker than aces for value, so that you can get the 5-bet in with your weak aces. I'm going to peel this. It's a little bit too loose, but he's played some hands that he shouldn't, or at least played some hands in ways that he shouldn't. So that leads me to believe I can maneuver a little bit post-flop. He folds. I think I need to peel, although I'm not 100% sure about this. An awkward hand on the flop. G cash money. Does Jason Somerville still play? You know, I'm not sure. He pots. So this is very awkward. I think my hand's just a fold, actually. There's just too great a risk. So I'm never doing great. And there is a real risk that I'm drawing, to almost no outs. If he just has a 9 or better with a nut flush draw. So I am going to fold. This hand's a fold. Obviously, if he did not have a nut flush draw, then I have like whatever 40% equity. But I'm basically never a favorite. Bad flop for us. With no diamond in my hand, I'm just not going to bet. Deniro asks, thoughts on PLO 5 card. 6 max in general, what's a good VPIP? To be honest, I don't know. This is a really interesting, I mean, I still don't think I bet with the nut straight and 2 pair, but it's cool to have 2 pair to go along with it. Can't fold to 60 because he could be value betting the same hand. I don't think he's very likely to be bluffing. It's possible he has king 9, but he shouldn't have king 9. Yeah, that's what he should have. But it's possible he has the same hand, and obviously possible he's bluffing. Curl's going wild. Can you give us another sweat in your next online bracelet event? Yeah, I'd like. Well, we'll see what else is going on. If I have another day like today, maybe not. But I would like to. Yeah, I enjoy streaming. Occasionally, I couldn't. The people who stream every day, I don't know how you do it. It's exhausting, and props to you. But I like to do it occasionally. I enjoy it. Christopher Mills, you're asking about checking back top 2. And I don't know which hand you're talking about. It might be, there was a hand but it was a while ago where I had Jack 9. This one. Can you see it in the small? Yeah. So here, you almost never check back top 2, but you do sometimes for board coverage, and because when you get a lot of action, you're not pushing a ton of equity. Especially on a board like this where you're not going to see a lot of like Jack Deuce, Jack 3, 9 Deuce, 9 3, 3 Deuce in people's ranges. So you mostly get called by hands that have 30 to 45% equity, which is obviously still good for you. But it's good to be able to be a little deceptive, and also, occasionally you do get check raised, and actually it's a pretty ugly spot when this hand gets check raised by a full 100 big blind stack. Fold. Fernando asks, why are stakes bigger at PLO than no limit hold'em? It's just kind of the nature of the game. You can't, equities run closer, so you can't fold as much, so pots get bigger. And because the average pot is bigger, edges get bigger because you're exerting your edge in larger pots on average, and variance is bigger, standard deviation is bigger. So it just effectively plays like a larger game than no limit hold'em does. Polo asks, will I ever play someone in a heads-up duel again? Like, yeah, I'd like to play heads-up most days of my life, if I could. Scott Miller, welcome. We are no longer in tournament. We only played one tournament. We cashed, but did not survive much further than that. So we're two-tabling some 10-20 PLO cash games. I don't think, if I'm not finding any higher stakes action, I don't think it's going to be a very long stream. I think I'll probably head out shortly. But I appreciate all of you being here, and I have had fun. It would have been, I don't know, I do feel like the stream brings me some luck. I almost had a heater going. I guess I don't really believe that, but I want to believe that. And yeah, I had something going for a little bit there. 3 aces. Gets it in flipping on this flop. Just trying to see how it got in pre. Okay, a ton of money got in pre. Oh, okay, I see. Cold 4-bet out of the big blind, which is good. This all looks correct to me. Queens, rainbow. I don't know. Iffy. Definitely a button open. I don't know about cutoff. Either way here, I do have a club. I do have blockers to stuff. I think I want to start betting. It's kind of a equity denial bet. It's not really value. It's not really a bluff. Excellent. All right, second nut flush draw and not much else worth writing home about. I'm going to start with a turn check as well. It's just really hard to have like so I don't think he's going to fold any value hands here. I'm just trying to make him fold his delay c-bet bluffs. And then I have some equity, of course. Have to go for it on this river. What size? I think you can go pretty big. Gonna fold to the raise. Tom Dwan taught me that that when you're bluffing, you auto click fold, so it's less tilting when you get raised. Taught me that 15 years ago. Fold. I'd like to replay this hand because there's a large sizing used on the flop. So what happened here pre? Okay, he calls a 3-bet. Gets check 2 and bets big. I don't know if you need to bet that big. There is a seat open. I don't really want to. No, I'm not going to play that long. There's another 10-20 seat open, but I think we're good just looking at 2 tables and yeah. Okay. I'm going to open this. Here I'm going to check back and realize my equity with 10-8. 10-8 for that matter. Big or small? Let's go small. Do I ever play PLO 8 or Big O? Yeah, I've played it in a mix quite a bit, but never as like a main game, really. I guess we're checking now. Nut open-ender, diamonds are present. Good pot odds. 8s could become good blockers potentially. I think I call. Everybody calls. We miss. Not going to be bluffing with no 5 or, you know, no anything useful in my hand. Ace Jack 10-9. I think just a call. That's a massive flop. I'm ahead of any hand. And we get led into. So the challenge is here, he's kind of saying that he has kings, especially when I have the nut flush draw. So do we really want to raise against king? I mean, we're actually slightly ahead of kings. Or do we want to use our position? I think we just want to use our position.
probably just want to pot to get stacks in on the river. And if he has kings, I mean, he's got 10 outs. I'm not exclusively putting him on kings, but actually the fact that I have the nut spades does reduce his combos of other stuff. Close one, but I'll open this. All right, I'll give it one more minute. See if I get any higher stakes action. Xbox, you're very welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I guess we'll just wrap up. So we didn't make the deep run. I mean, we cashed, had a shot, played some fun cash games. I think I'm probably down. I mean, I must be down a little bit, but not much in these games. And had some fun. I hope you enjoyed tuning in. I enjoyed talking to you. And I will, I mean, unless something comes up, my plan is to stream again at some point for some more online WSOP tournaments, even though I do not know, even though they're going to be no limit and I'm not very good at no limit, I'm still going to do it. So we'll play this. Well, will we play this Ace King 10-7? Yeah, probably. Just call button. It's kind of iffy, I think, honestly, but I don't know for sure. With 3 hearts and also the King of Hearts makes it like, well, less likely we cooler somebody with hearts or overdraw them. Check to us. Pretty interesting. I guess we just realize our equity. We have backdoor nut flush draw too, so keeping people in is not that bad. Turn the double got shot, although the 9 is not to the nuts. We get potted into, I mean, almost. I mean, he's betting into 3 players. He's going to have our made hand crushed or a very strong draw. I think I can still call, though, because, like, it's possible I have the best hand. No, I guess he had King Jack. I mean, I'm just going to check and lose pretty much always. Jack 4 with clubs. Okay. That's maybe okay. Anyways, I think I can call that, and I have reasonable equity against that hand. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys. I'll be back at some point, and appreciate the support, appreciate you viewing, and I will see you next time, whenever that is. Take care, guys.